Here we are, and here you are, and we are here together for our meditation. So I was just reading, or actually watching, a clip of a video from an event that goes on every year. And this video clip was, it was part of a woman's talk. I'm not going to mention her name or where it is, but I just want to share. At first, I was excited about it because it sounded like, oh, she's making so much sense. And then I thought about it later and I thought, I'm not sure that this is making sense. So let me tell you what she said. She said that if you're just sitting every day by yourself in meditation and taking care of yourself, you're doing it wrong. She said, if you're not meditating for the health and well-being of all people and creatures on this planet everywhere, then you're doing it wrong. So I believe that you've probably heard that prayer or poem I read by Lao Tzu, I think 6th century philosopher out of China. I could be wrong on the date. He said, in order to have peace in the world, there must be peace between nations. And now this is true because we're watching right now. In order to have peace between nations, there needs to be peace in the cities. In order to have peace in the cities, there must be peace between neighbors. In order to have peace between neighbors, there must be peace in the home. In order to have peace in the home, there must be peace in the heart. So when this woman was saying, the only reason to meditate is for everybody else, not for yourself, you're doing it wrong, I have to disagree. We can wish for peace all over the world. We can hope for peace. And I believe that's our nature, is that we want the best for others and ourselves. But I think we have to take care of ourselves first. Just like in the airplane, you put your oxygen mask on first if you need to in an emergency, rather than trying to take care of everybody else on the plane. Then you can once you've taken care of yourself. So I don't think it's selfish to meditate for yourself every day. But at first I thought it was such a great concept. But as you and I both know, all of us know, is when we tap into the field of love through meditation, which is everybody's birthright, everybody does it, it naturally spills over into loving your family more, loving your friends more, loving your life more, loving the world more. So I think it's a natural evolution. So I just wanted to share that because I know some people were listening and thought that was impressive. And, in the Tibetan Buddhist culture, quite often they suggest that you dedicate your practice to the health and well-being of other living beings on the planet. So we could certainly do that. And for those of you new here, welcome. I'm going to just share a little bit before we get into the meditation. We're going to first start out with a standing meditation, and we can do that in a moment. And then we'll sit back down and we'll do a body awareness practice and bringing in some peace finder practices. So I'm so glad you're here. First, before we stand, let's be mindful of where we're sitting. Be mindful of your feet, wherever they happen to be on the ground. Be mindful of where you're seated, the contact points between you and the chair, sofa behind you and underneath you. Be mindful of the contact points between you and everything else. Maybe the air, maybe where your hands are, how you're being supported. And now we're going to be practicing mindfulness. And I know you know what it means, but I'll just say it for those of you who don't. Mindfulness is a particular way of paying attention. Mindfulness means you're bringing your attention right here in this moment, paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in this moment, without a lot of judgment or comparison to anything or anyone else. So we're sitting here mindfully. When the mind wants to wander into the future or the past, just bring it right back here. And a great way to be mindful is bringing your attention to the body. Now, if it's possible for you today, I'm going to suggest that in a moment that we stand up mindfully. Now, a lot of people go from sitting to standing unconsciously, but I'm going to ask you to do it very slowly, on purpose, and go from sitting to standing, bringing your attention inward. You can keep your eyes open if you like. Just notice what it takes to lift your body off the chair. You can do it with me now. And to stand up if you can. And find a solid stance. And I invite you to keep your eyes closed now if you want to, or simply find a point to gaze at in your space. Feeling your feet on the floor and noticing how they support you without complaint. Seeing if you can align your ankles with your knee joints, your hip joints, all the way up to the crown of your head, making sure you're feeling like you're standing up as straight as you can or upright. And then as if there was a string pulling that crown of your head up to the sky. There's no accident, they call it a crown. Letting your shoulders lower. You let your arms hang comfortably. Letting go of any clenching or gripping you might be doing in your hip joints or your belly. And softening your face. Simply stand here, letting go of any tension, any holding. You might even tuck your chin just a little bit, allowing that back of your neck to lengthen slightly. And if you want to invite some shoulder rolls, rolling your shoulders up and back, one at a time or together, you choose. Slowing it way down. You might be hearing some sounds in your body. Just welcome those as you go in the opposite direction with your shoulders. And then bring your shoulders to stillness. And let your wrists do some wrist rolls as your arms hang comfortably by your side, going forward and around, and then backwards. Being really present without judgment. And then you can bring that to stillness. Tuning into your breath. Noticing the way the body moves with the breath. You might begin to face your hands forward, like you're about to catch a big balloon. Facing forward, let them rest easily by your side. Breathing in fully and slowly, and letting the air out fully and slowly as you draw your belly button to the back of your spine there. Feeling the belly move with each inhale and exhale. Tuning into the navel. Inviting the big belly on the inhale, navel to the spine on the exhale. And letting your breath return to its natural rhythm and depth. And let's simply stand here for another few moments before we sit down. Fully embodying this being alive. being right here, right now, where your body is, keeping the mind here. You might feel some gentle swaying. Letting everything be as it is. Being mindful of the body and the breath. And now we're going to slowly move from standing to sitting and bringing that mindful quality of attention as you're aware of every movement, your hands, your feet, your shoulders, your face, your neck, your spine, your hips. Finding a comfortable spot to sit, finding that same restfulness in the seated position. Tuning into the shoulders once again, you might want to invite a few more shoulder rolls. Mindfully moving. A few more belly breaths. And then you can let your breath return to its natural rhythm and depth. And throughout this practice, simply let your breath be natural. There's no need to force or concentrate or regulate your breath. As you give yourself a chance to relax right here. Noticing the weight of your body being supported by your seat. Inviting the body to simply sink into this support. Allowing the muscles of your face, your belly, and your hips to soften. Allow the muscles, your forehead, your scalp to soften. If any worries about the future or the past or the planning comes about, simply let that melt away as you bring your attention to this moment right here. This moment right here. Coming to the senses, you might begin to welcome sounds in your environment or inside your body. Perhaps you notice some flavors in your mouth. Or aromas in your space. Notice if there's any light coming through your eyelids, a little glow of light, or any other visuals you might have right now. Inhaling this feeling of peace that's here. And each time you breathe out, let go of any worries you might have or any tension that might be here. Letting go just a little bit more with each exhale. Breathing in peace with each inhale. Peace is all around you now. Inviting peace into the body. Any place you don't sense peace in the body, simply direct your breath into that area. Directing the inhale, inviting peace. You may notice that your mind is still somewhat active. Allow any thoughts you might have to simply drift through like a cloud, drifting through the sky, drifting away from you without your attention, without your focus. Imagining that the clouds are clearing into this vast sky of awareness. Inviting with each inhale that peace, calmness, a sense of hopefulness. Breathing in peace, like it's literally in the air, hanging in the air for you to experience, to embody. If the mind wanders off, simply bring it back to the breath, inhaling peace, exhaling any tension or worries. Right now, forget about your worries, forget about your day, forget about the life that you have planned. Forget about everything for this moment. Put it on a shelf and be right here. Be free in this peaceful atmosphere, free from worries and planning, free from regrets and pain. There's just you and this piece. Inhaling peace and exhaling any worries. We'll keep practicing this for a few minutes and I'll keep track of the time. For those of you who like to work with mantras, you can use the word Shanti on the inhale. Shanti meaning peace. Peace is in the air that you breathe. And making this subtle shift to inhale peace and exhale peace. Shanti. There is peace in this moment. You are the embodiment of peace. It's okay if your mind wanders peacefully and kindly. Bring it back right here to the breath. Inhaling and exhaling peace. There is peace in this moment. The mind might tell you otherwise, but you know that it's true. There is peace right here. We'll practice this for a few minutes. I'll keep track of the time. And recognizing this moment right here, right now, as a holy moment. Your holy breath, your holy body, meeting this holy moment. I invite you now to deepen your breath once again, filling your belly, emptying, bringing that navel to the spine for 3 long, slow, deep breaths, inviting that peace into the breath still. And letting your breath return to its ease, to its natural rhythm and depth. And I invite you, when you feel ready, to begin to come out of this meditation by bringing with you the qualities of peace and mindfulness, holiness, as we move into many of the holy days and celebrations that many religions are observing right now. Once again, you might begin to listen to the sounds around you or invite some movement, some shoulder rolls or neck rolls before you open your eyes. Begin to embody that peace in activity, the mindfulness that's right here. And I invite you to bring your hands in the prayer position, letting your thumbs gently rest on your breastbone. And bow to yourself as you honor that you are an instrument of peace. And if you like, you can open your eyes softly and gaze at the screen and bow to those of us who've been practicing with you as you recognize that each of us is an instrument of peace. So thank you for being on the peace team. Thank you for being the peaceful warrior that you are. And you know what? Peace begins with me. Peace begins with you. So I know that some of us like to dedicate our practice to maybe those who are not so peaceful. So I invite you to do that now. So thank you for joining me today. Thank you for being part of the peace team, for creating the holy moments that many of us like to observe. I'm going to stop recording now.